Last January, Klal Yisrael experienced the simchas. Over 90,000 people gathered together in MetLife Stadium, as well as so many more all across the globe to celebrate Torah study together. For me, one of the most inspiring moments of that siyum was when Rabbi Shlomo Farhi introduced one of the Messiahim, Mendy Rosenberg, a fellow with ALS, a disease that breaks down the muscles of the body till a person's totally paralyzed. The only thing he has remaining was his mind and his eyes. And at the siyum before, Mendy Rosenberg had made up his mind that he is going to complete Shas, ALS or not, despite the fact that he was 3 years into a disease that has a life expectancy of 4 years. But he said, I'm committed. I'm going to do this. I don't care. And he was able to obtain a special computer that could read the movements of his eyes, allowing him to communicate with others. And with that computer, he learned with his chavrusa every single day. He learned the daf multiple times every single day, until the point that 7.5 years later, Mendy was in MetLife Stadium making a siyum on Shas. Throughout Sukkot, and especially on Hoshana Rabbah, we do Hoshanas, where we put the Sefer Torah in the middle and we circulate around it holding the lulav and esrog in our hands. And Rav Isaac Sher says that that's to show that the Torah is in the middle, the Torah is the focal point where we glean how it is that we're supposed to perform these beautiful mitzvahs that we're holding here in our hands. That makes a lot of sense. However, when it comes to simchas Torah, we do something that's rather odd. We take the holy Sifrei Torah in our hands and we circulate around the bima. Every other day, we put the thing that's the most important, the Sefer Torah, we put that in the middle. However, on simchas Torah, we have the Torahs that are so holy on the outside. And what's in the middle? What's the focal point? What's the central theme? The empty bima? What's the great significance in that? And Rav Sher answered something that really struck a chord within me. He said, you know what the central theme of simchas Torah is? It's that bima. Because that bima is the place where we take the Torah, we put it down, we open it up and we read from it. You know, it's a beautiful thing to have a Torah that directs us and guides us. But if we don't set it down and open it up and learn from it, then what use is that Torah to us? On simchas Torah, let's think about the main focus. That is our Torah learning. Let's look at that bima and renew our commitments, whether it be to the Daf Yomi Shir, whether it be to the Chavrusa at night, whatever. And commit ourselves to putting the Sefer, putting the Torah down on the bima, on the shtender, opening it up and learning Torah. You know, we're going through crazy times right now. Let's remember Mendy Rosenberg, who made a commitment to learn the Daf Yomi despite his incredible challenges. And if Mendy can learn Torah every day under those circumstances, then so can we. And Be'ezus Hashem, through that Torah learning, through that commitment, it should be a zechus for the Yeshua of all of Klal Yisrael. Have a beautiful Yom Tov.